Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Dalton at Daltonians TFs coming at you with another Titans Return review. As you've seen from the title, we are taking a look at the Deluxe Class, Titans Return, Brainstorm, and Teslor. Last I knew, he was Arcana, so we will stick to that as his name. Of course, you got your cross cells on the back with Clobber, Highbrow, Alphatron, and Blaster. And then here on the back it says, the Autobots unite with the Titan Master partners to power up battle Autobots. To battle. Autobot Teslor increases the genius of Brainstorm, making his brilliant inventions even more advanced. So, not much else new with that. Going on to the collector card, you got the artwork that you get on the front. Now, I wish he looked a lot more like this, more that kind of darker green, and more of this brownish gray. But, you know, that's just me. Anyways, here on the back you got the stats, you know, the strength going from 8 to 10, speed going from 7 to 11, intelligence go from 10 to 15, which, you knowing Brainstorm, it should be at least up to 18. Perceptor, of course, would be 20 or infinite. Then for firepower, 7 to 8. So, not much firepower, more brain power than anything. So bringing in Brainstorm, of course, this is the Walgreens exclusive if you are here in the US of A. And you know, it's blurred. I mean, they did what they could to give us the character while, you know, getting away with using the mold. So bringing in my custom, not quite complete blur for comparison. The only new parts here are this whole nose cone piece. This is all new. These little intakes here on the front, and the upper part of this whole shoulder piece is mostly new, and the wings and the fin, and of course the face on Teslor, or you know, in our case now Arcana. And going ahead and bringing out Arcana, which I will be referring to as such in the rest of the review. Like I said, he is, you know, Hyperfire. It's the same exact mold we got with Blur and with Chrome Dome. Except, you know, unlike Chrome Dome, this one actually has paint. Very little, but he does have, if my camera loses focus, he does have a painted orange face. Mine got mostly on there. It's kind of missing it on top of the visor, but it's not such a huge problem. He just looks kind of sad, a little worried. Anyways, bringing in Brainstorm transformation, we've pretty much gone over it before. Let's go ahead and bring these out. Pull off the pistol, which again is the same one we got with Blur and Chrome Dome. So, get those two out of here. And go ahead and transform this guy. Like I said, very simple. If you want to see, like, step by step how to transform him, there will be a link to Blur in the description, so you can check that out. Just trying to get him transformed here real quick so we can get on to the rest of the video. And there we've got Brainstorm for the most part. Let me get him straightened higher, then I'll raise up the camera. And of course, fold Arcana in half and pop them on. There we go. There we got the Walgreens Brainstorm in robot mode. Now, you're going to keep hearing me say Walgreens. That is because this is the Walgreens exclusive. There is the Titan Force 3-pack that you can get him in, as well as the Takara that is soon to be coming out, probably along the same time as Astro Train from Takara. But I personally chose this because it's more in line with the rest of the regular Titans Return figures. Like Blur, he does have these tachographs on the shins and wings that look kind of like the old stickers. Very nicely done. As far as paint though, I can't tell. I think these parts are molded in this brown color. It's hard to tell because the forearms are completely painted. They were molded in this lighter gray color and painted to match, and it is a very nearly dead on match. It's maybe like one shade off, just barely off. It's barely noticeable, so go ahead and get that out of his hand. Come on. Now, I hear a lot of people complaining about how these are just too big of chunks. What I like to do is I just like to bring them out like that. Yeah, I mean, you still get a bunch of chunk hanging off, but actually, no, that actually is worse. So, yeah, I'll just keep it flipped back. I mean, it looks good from the front. Not a lot of people are going to display them from the sides unless they want them, like, marching along the shelf. As far as the face goes, very nicely done. Very much like the original, actually more along the lines of his comic appearance. So there is that. If you prefer, there are shapeways, you know, faces that you can use to make them look more like the original. And somewhat, I can't remember his name exactly. I think it's Steam Shield or the Trent Troop. One of them, they made the pulse or photon or pulse rifles for him, so I do plan on getting those so he can have his actual pistols. That way you don't have to, you know, use this, because this does plug onto the shoulder or onto the forearm as a shield slash twin barrel cannon. And then you've got the little pistol here. Or what I've seen some other people do is, and that's if you don't get the little upgrade that they did for this, is just set this back here for that more IDW appearance. So there's that. I mean, the articulation is exactly the same. So let me get the rest of these headmasters and blur into robot mode, and we will go from there. Okay, so here we have Brainstorm with his other 4 companions. Yes, I do have the Takara Fort Max. We will get into that video at another time. I do have an unboxing video. I will get that all sorted out here soon. And just for good measure, here we have Blur in his kind of iconic movie poster pose. I mean, it's as close as I could get using this mold. Maybe more along the lines of that. Get his other leg out that far. Still balance him. There we go. So yeah, I mean, this will be in another review, but you can now see all the parts changed on Brainstorm here. Let's actually get these other guys out of the way, just for the time being. So you can see the shoulder piece is all new. The little piece here has just been pretty much just cut down to the size and added the intakes. Everything below the waist is exactly the same, of course, except for the fin, and also the shields being completely different. And you also do have the option to fold these back to even more represent the look of the G1 toy with these fins here out to the side. But, it's all up to you. I kind of like them at an angle. That way they're not as pronounced, but at the same time they're not all the way back, and they're not all the way out. So just bring them back at an angle. Kind of slims them down a little bit while not being too, like, wow. Well, I mean, it's up to you. I actually do kind of prefer this now that I look at it again. So, that being said, this has been Dalton at Dalton CFs. Hope you guys enjoyed this hopefully quick little look at Brainstorm. I do plan on doing Fort Max here eventually. I just need to get the time to record that because that's going to be a long video. And, of course, looking at him more once he is fully finished. I think I just need to touch him up a little bit and add another coat of clear coat. But for the most part, this guy's done. So that'll be another review for another day. That being said, oh, and all the joints on here are fairly tight. The hips are just a smidge loose. Everything else is as it should be, or as you would expect, and maybe a little bit more, because these hands are like really tight and you can see some of the paint just chipping off. But like I said, that being said, this has been Dalton at Dalton and Stuffs. Hope you guys enjoy this review. The link to the review of the original generation's Brainstorm, more based on the IDW full-on design, will be in the description, along with these guys, except for Fort Max, because that hasn't been done yet. I'm going to stop talking now because I'm just rambling on and on and on. So, hope you guys enjoyed. See y'all next time.